This is a story about two students who didn't like each other at first, but everything changed when they got stuck on an island together. They had to learn to work as a team to stay alive, and something special happened between them during their time there. Our story begins with Emma, a happy and smart girl who wakes up early and gets ready for school. She's very popular and has many friends who love her. Then there's Dean, a boy who's very different from Emma. He's lazy, wakes up late, and spends his time playing video games instead of caring about school. Emma's mother drops her and her little sister at school, where Emma meets her best friend Liz. A boy named Steven comes to say hello, and Liz starts making jokes about Emma liking him, which makes Emma feel shy. In class, their teacher tells everyone about an exciting school trip to Trinity Island, and they need to be ready to leave at 7 in the morning. During lunch, Emma's friends keep talking about her and Steven, making plans for their love life. Emma notices Dean sitting by himself using a small knife to cut an apple. A teacher sees the knife and gets angry, taking Dean to the principal's office. Liz tells Emma that Dean is nothing but trouble. The next morning, Emma feels excited about the trip and thanks her parents for letting her go. Dean doesn't want to go, but his father reminds him that they worked hard to get him this chance after he made mistakes. When they get to school, everyone gets on the bus. Steven tries to talk to Emma, but Liz pulls her away and tells her to focus on Steven only. After a long bus ride, they reach Trinity Island. Emma and her friends run to the swimming pool and have fun together. Steven joins them while Dean watches from far away, staying by himself. Later, Emma's friends tell her about a party on a boat. She doesn't want to go at first, but they talk her into it. At the party, Emma looks for Liz, but instead sees Steven kissing another girl. This breaks her heart, and she decides to leave. Dean sees what happened and makes fun of her, saying her boyfriend is having a great time. Emma gets angry and tells him to mind his own business. Suddenly, police officers come to the boat because someone reported that students were using drugs at the party. Everyone gets scared and confused. During all this chaos, Emma falls into the dark water. Dean sees her struggling and jumps in to save her without thinking twice. After pulling Emma to safety, Dean sees a small boat tied to the big one. He helps Emma get in and cuts the rope to get away from the police boat. Emma can't believe what he did and asks why he cut the rope. Dean says he doesn't want to get in trouble with the police and they'll wait for them to leave before going back. But things don't go as planned. Dean realizes the small boat doesn't have a motor, and then a big wave hits them. The storm tosses their tiny boat around all night while they hold on tight. When morning comes, the sea is calm, but they're lost in the middle of nowhere. Dean tries to call for help, but realizes he left his phone behind. Emma has her phone, but there's no signal. She gets frustrated and says if they had stayed with the party boat, they wouldn't be in this mess. Dean tries to stay positive as they float around. Emma spots a small island in the distance and points it out. Dean starts paddling toward it with his hands. After struggling against the water for a long time, they finally reach the shore. They're tired but happy to be on land. Emma checks her phone again, but still no signal. Dean finds a flare gun in the boat and puts it in his pocket. They decide to explore the island to look for help. As they walk through the forest, they find a beautiful waterfall. Dean thinks it's amazing and tells Emma to take a picture, but she gets angry because they're stranded and he's acting like a tourist. Dean laughs and says they should try to enjoy something while they figure out how to get home. Back at the hotel, the teacher is angry about what happened and cancels the rest of the trip. Liz tells the teacher that she hasn't seen Emma since the night before. The teacher tells the main teacher, and they realize both Emma and Dean are missing. They call the police, who start asking questions. The police say it's possible the students went into the sea, but finding them would be very hard. Emma's parents and Dean's father rush to the school and want answers, but no one knows what happened. On the island, Dean and Emma keep walking through the forest for hours until they reach the other side. They look around, hoping to find someone to help them, but the place is empty. They decide to go back to their boat, but when they get to the shore, They're shocked to see the boat is gone. The waves took it away, leaving only a life jacket. Tired and sad, they sit down as the sun starts to set. Dean makes a fire with some sticks and they decide to spend the night there. When Emma shivers from the cold evening air, Dean gives her his shirt to keep warm. The next morning, Dean wakes up and can't find Emma. He gets scared and looks for her, finding her by the shore, writing big letters in the sand that spell SOS. She tells him they need to find water and food or they won't survive long. Dean goes swimming in the sea to cool off while Emma watches him. Back at the hotel, the teacher meets with their parents and tells them the police are looking for their children. They found traces of a small boat in the sea. Dean's father gets upset and wants to hire private rescuers, but the teacher says they should trust the police. On the island, Emma feels like someone is watching her while she looks for water. This scares her, and she quickly leaves to find Dean. Together, they collect leaves and branches to build a small hut for shelter. They also make a giant SOS sign on the beach, hoping rescue teams might see it from the sky. For food, they explore the island and eat whatever they can find. Dean finds a banana tree and picks bananas for both of them. The heat becomes too much, so Emma cuts her long pants to make shorts. That evening, while Dean sleeps in the hut, Emma lies down next to him. In his sleep, Dean turns toward Emma and puts his hand on her. The next day, Emma bathes under the waterfall when Dean comes asking for sunscreen. Emma tells him to go somewhere else because she's bathing. Dean smiles and says he's keeping watch for safety like she asked. Emma gets annoyed and says she only asked him to watch because she thinks someone else is on the island with them. At the hotel, Emma's disappearance becomes news. The police tell her parents that the chances of finding Emma and Dean alive are very small, and they've started looking for their bodies instead. This breaks her mother's heart. Her father comforts her and says he'll take care of Emma's little sister at home, but they shouldn't give up hope. Dean's father rents a helicopter, and Emma's mother joins him to search from the sky. They fly over the sea looking for any sign of their children. As night falls on the island, Emma tells Dean she misses her family so much. Dean tries to cheer her up, but accidentally finds a human skull. Emma panics, thinking this must have been someone who got stuck here, like them, and died. Dean tries to calm her down, saying this person was probably a fisherman or smuggler who ended up here by accident. He promises they'll survive because people care about them and are looking for them. After saying this, he kisses her. This was Emma's first kiss. As the night continues, they become very close and intimate for the first time. Emma feels excited about experiencing something so wild and new. The next morning, Emma wakes up and can't find Dean anywhere. She calls his name and searches desperately till she finds him digging a hole. Before he can explain what he's doing, Emma trips and scrapes her knee. Dean quickly cleans her wound and tells her she'll be okay. Later at the waterfall, Dean tells Emma about his mother, who died in a car accident. Emma listens carefully and feels touched by his story. When it starts to rain, Dean begins playing in it and Emma joins him. They laugh, dance, and have fun together. Dean puts a flower in Emma's hair, making her smile. A whole month passes since Emma and Dean disappeared. The police say they're probably dead and stop searching. However, Emma's mother and Dean's father refuse to give up hope. They organize their own search, giving out papers with Emma and Dean's pictures and information. After days of searching with no luck, Dean's father tells Emma's mother they've tried everything, and maybe it's time to go home. Emma's mother agrees sadly, but still isn't sure what happened to her daughter. Back on the island, Dean tells Emma about a green light his mother used to describe that appears at sunset. Together they decide to look for this light, which gives them something to hope for. Weeks pass and they grow closer, enjoying the island's beauty and finding comfort in each other. They become intimate whenever they want. One day, Emma asks Dean about his first intimate experience. Dean laughs and tells her it was with an older friend at school. When Dean asks Emma how she felt about their experience, she shyly says it was good. They laugh, and Emma says she wants more experience. Dean smiles and agrees. While looking for fruits, they hear a plane in the distance. They rush to an open area, and Dean looks for the flare gun in Emma's bag, but it's missing. The plane flies away, leaving them very disappointed. Later, Emma notices other items are missing too. She gets a scary thought and tells Dean that someone else must be on the island stealing from them. A few more days pass, and only one plane has flown over the island. No one has come to rescue them. Dean and Emma sit in their hut talking about whether they should give up hope of going home. They decide to accept their situation and spend their time together. In the forest, Dean hears an animal sound and goes to check what it is. Emma, worried about him, follows. Dean encounters a dangerous black panther and runs in panic. After a long chase, he falls to the ground. When Emma reaches him, she sees Dean holding a bloody knife, having killed the panther to protect himself. Back home, Emma and Dean's friends and family try to continue their lives without them. Emma and Dean, however, have learned to live on the island. They've learned to hunt and build a life together in their hut, giving up hope that anyone would come to save them. One day while resting, Emma notices their missing items falling from above. Looking up, they see a monkey in a tree throwing their things down. To their surprise, the monkey has the flare gun that Dean couldn't find before. Emma gives the monkey a banana, and the monkey throws the flare gun down. Just as they get the gun back, they hear a helicopter. They run to an open area, and Emma successfully fires the flare. The helicopter crew sees them, and they are finally rescued after 3 months on the island. Emma and Dean return home, and at the airport, their friends and families greet them with great joy. They go to their respective homes, and that night Dean visits Emma. They talk about how strange it feels to be back home. Dean tries to kiss her, but Emma pulls back, explaining that her parents are constantly around her. She invites him to a party her parents are having to celebrate their return. The next day at the party, Emma's parents give a speech about their children coming back. Emma's little sister asks Dean why he's not with everyone else. Dean signals Emma to join him, but she ignores him. Feeling hurt, Dean leaves the party. Emma becomes very famous after returning, but Dean stays alone. When they see each other, they only exchange quick glances. A few days later, Emma calls Dean, but he doesn't answer. Emma's sister visits her room and tells her how much they missed her when she disappeared. Their parents were heartbroken, thinking they might have lost her forever, but now they're all together, and everything feels right again. Emma tells her sister she's very good to her, and they decide to go to the prom together. Meanwhile, Dean visits his mother's grave and cries as he remembers her. On prom night, Dean watches TV at home when his father asks if he wants to wear his coat to the party. Emma arrives at the prom with her sister. Liz leads Emma to a surprise, and Emma sees Dean standing outside in the rain, waiting for her. This sight brings back memories of the island. Moved by seeing him, Emma steps outside to join him. Dean and Emma are reunited, and they kiss, their happiness shining through. And that's where our story ends.